Okay, good afternoon. We have today with us John Meredith, who is multitask person. I looked at your profile, like I said, and I was surprised that you were bubbling with ideas. So, but you're concentrating on this one now.
Yes.
Okay, and how did the idea come to you to do superhero?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for giving me a chance to come out and talk with you. This is really fun.
Yeah.
I love cameras and stuff.
All right, you're on the spotlight today.
Basically, I was a consultant for a bunch of different real estate companies at the same time,
Yeah,
and a lot of communications was put on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And being put in this situation, I learned that I have some skills in setting up systems and programming and stuff that I didn't realize I had.
yeah.
So this kind of was created, and some of the other things were added on top, and I came up with Superhero, which is the best way to explain it is Salesforce plus Google plus Disney.
Okay, well, Salesforce is a CRM, right?
Yes,
And Google is a search engine,
right,
and Disney is more entertainment.
right. So here's why it's like those three things.
Okay, tell me.
Now, Salesforce, the Superhero produces a product,
Yeah.
which is called the Superhero Engine. So that's what we're making,
All right.
the Superhero Engine. Now, the Superhero Engine's part CRM,
Yeah.
and it's going to be using. The reason it's like Google is because it's going to be using primarily Google products. That's what I'm going to be focusing on.
All right.
For example, when this system is deployed, it's going to be scalable out right from the beginning to as many users as we want.
All right.
And the Google has a product called Firebase that it's already connected to. So we're ready to go, and this will allow us to just monitor many things. And it also, when I'll mention another company later on towards the end called HomeKeyX, Google's Maps is going to be tied to that. So there's the reasoning for the Google products to be a part of all this, and that connects later on. The Disney part is really me, and I've been fascinated with Walt Disney my
Yeah.
entire life.
Yeah.
Even from a young age, I've
Yeah.
been to all the parks in it's not in the Bay Area, in
Yeah.
the United States many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Been to the Walt Disney Museum many times, and I just feel like I've studied the concepts of that company long enough, read enough books, been to enough hotels, and I can sprinkle a little bit of magic on this product.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the Superhero Engine.
Wow. So, just to go back a little bit, you say Firebase, they just moved in one market and they moved about 500 employees there, Google. What do they do exactly? Because I hear the word Firebase and it doesn't connect with the word Google. What do they do?
Yeah, Firebase, competitor would be like Oracle.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like Google's Oracle. So there was someone that invented this system to scale out databases and users, and Google
database, yeah.
purchased them. So Google owns Firebase now.
Yes, yes.
And as part of their Google Launchbase program, Firebase has been made available to entrepreneurs through the program that I'm a part of through my other startup.
Okay.
And I'm able to go into.
Oh, you have the database there.
Yeah, I'm actually connected to the full suite of Firebase for
Wow.
free right now. Yeah, so I have that. I just got to get it. It's like a spaceship. It's ready to launch. It's
Wow.
ready. Everything's ready to
You
go.
mean you can access Firebase for free?
I don't know. I'm sure it's not free, but for some reason I have access to it.
Oh,
through
good for you.
Google, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Because
for
it's,
now.
it's a big enterprise there.
It is. It's really interesting. I mean, I could just spend. I have to be careful not to get too involved in every little thing that I'm doing, because
Yeah.
Firebase, it's just you can look at a map and see where everybody is on a
Oh,
map,
wow.
all your users, and that's
Yeah.
something that's going to be useful for this the
what you're
Superhero
launching.
Engine. So the Superhero Engine is going to be, well, somebody says, okay, so what? You have a Superhero Engine. What does it do? Well, it's a marketing device, and it is going to be used. I'm going to demonstrate its ability to sell things by selling residential real estate starting in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do is instead of using the multiple listing service,
Yeah.
we're going to use the Superhero Engine to market houses.
Okay.
So what that'll do is this isn't something that's against realtors or against MLS or against the real estate industry, but this is. Let me ask you a question. If you were going, for example, if you were going to
Buy a house?
not buy a house, if you were going to get a before Uber, if you were going to get a ride somewhere, what would you do?
Oh, before Uber, I would call maybe Yellow Cab.
A cab? Okay.
Well, before Uber, you said.
Right. So was there any other alternative besides the cab?
Ask somebody for a ride.
A friend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or drive yourself?
Yeah, I don't drive.
That's probably a good thing. These days, the Bay Area is so dangerous with driving. Okay. If you were going to sell a house, what would you do?
Call an agent.
Call an agent? Well,
Yeah.
what if you didn't want to use an agent?
Put an ad
Where?
in the paper.
In the newspaper?
Yeah.
They have newspapers still?
I don't know. Put an ad maybe in a real estate magazine. That makes more sense, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. So there really isn't an alternative to using a realtor. There isn't. And in my observation, and I've been
A realtor yourself?
Yeah, I've been licensed. I was licensed in 1988.
Oh, you have experience.
Oh yeah, I'm a licensed broker. So
Wow.
I've been licensed in the Bay Area since 1988. I don't think there's anyone in the Bay Area alive that's practicing real estate that's still here that long. So that's 30 years of experience.
Yeah, 90% fail.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they fail because they got to have their clients or they're going to starve, right?
Right. So what I'm going to do is, when you go to sell a house, your only option is to use a realtor, which is a terrific service.
Yeah,
We're going to give you an alternative.
right.
And basically how it's going to work is you're going to reach out to Superhero Residential,
All right.
and everything is done online.
Okay.
And what I'm thinking about here is really something that really hasn't been documented, and just more of a hypothesis on my part
Oh, okay.
about a population in the Bay Area that's undocumented.
Oh, well, in San Francisco, a lot.
Not only in San Francisco, but in the whole Bay Area. Now, I've driven the Bay Area. I've walked in downtown Oakland, downtown San Francisco, downtown San. I've been everywhere from Monterey,
Okay.
and I've watched this place change.
Yeah.
Here's something I just recently thought of that Superhero Residential I think is going to tap into. There's a lot of houses. If you look at the outside, they've never been remodeled, they've never been touched, and they've never been sold. Because there are people that don't want to go through the realtor process, the expository process. This is all hypothetical.
Yeah.
I have people that I know that I think would have sold their home if they didn't have to go through oh my God, people have been coming through my home, where am I going to put this, where am I going to put... What we're going to be able to do is for people that want privacy.
Yeah.
Not only
It's a solution.
Absolutely. Not only psychological privacy, but privacy for security. So what we're going to do is do a consultation online. We list your house right automatically. Immediately, it's listed.
Right.
You don't have to interview a million agents or 25. So when you're ready to put your house on the market, we decide together what price you're going to sell it for.
All right.
And then I deploy the Superhero engine.
Okay.
And depending upon...
Don't people want to have a feel of the property?
Oh, yeah, they will. But in terms of you, the seller...
Yeah.
When we deploy the Superhero engine, that can be done right when you reach out to us. You don't have to go, okay, honey, what are you doing next week? What do you do? Everything is done conveniently online. So you can list your house online.
And you can also sell it at 4 a.m.
You could sell it. And then what we're going to do is we have a state-of-the-art lockbox.
Okay.
That's just been invented. So I don't know if, I don't really think the whole real estate industry.
And what does Lockbox do?
This new lockbox.
No.
Which Airbnb uses, which they're way ahead of the real estate industry.
Oh, okay.
Now, I got out of the real estate industry to get into filmmaking.
Yeah.
And I came back to the real estate industry living in Silicon Valley thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to see what's happening with all its new technology that I've been away from in real estate. And I went in there and I was really disappointed because in my opinion, there is no technology, especially with this new wave that I know you've, Alina, been watching with all these things we've been going to, the things that we've met at.
Yeah.
This new wave of technology coming, real estate is going to be like an antique the stuff they're not even up to date now. So when this next wave comes out, AI and chatbots and VR and 360,
They won't exist anymore.
I don't know what's going to happen, because what's happened is when we first started in the real estate industry,
Yeah.
the way that you sold a house was, where's your office?
Yeah.
Because if you had an office near a grocery store,
Yeah.
you literally sat in the office like this and did floor time. People walked in, brought them out, sold the house. That's what people did.
Okay.
Then they invented this system to keep track of data. So they invented the MLS book.
Okay.
So I've been around long enough to remember the book. And they were books of MLS printouts
Oh my God.
in little squares, and they were different color for the months. They were all stacked up like gold, on the
Wow.
wall. You get one every month or every week, and on the outside it would be stamped confidential
Wow.
in big red letters. So that was the MLS book. So then there was the internet came out.
Okay.
So all that's happened from the MLS book, the old
MLS
phone book,
online.
which is a stack of data, which is a pile of paper that somebody's got to go through, which is
Yeah.
nothing. It's not even technology. All they did was take that stack of paper and put it into a searchable format.
Okay.
And here's the thing that made me mad.
What?
With all due respect, this truly a skyscraper. They took all the realtor's information
Yeah.
and they printed it up on a website
Yeah.
and they sold it back to the realtor. It's just disgusting.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah, so when you-
realtor had to buy a listing.
Yeah. So in other words, if you have 10 listings for sale,
Right.
then all that data is harvested,
Wow.
fed back out to all the other realtors, and then they sell advertising back to the realtors. It's really a weird industry.
Oh, so everybody can be listed, but a few of them will buy the ad.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's unfair.
right. So the consumers, in order if you're selling a house, in order for the consumer to sell your house, they got to go through this maze of baloney to get to it.
And then the attention will go to the ad.
Right.
Kind of.
Right. There's no other. Century 21 doesn't have a skyscraper.
Wow.
Remax doesn't have a skyscraper. Coldwell Banker doesn't have a skyscraper. But
Yeah,
Trulia has a skyscraper.
But with Superhero, would you feature one property? Like,
With Superhero Residential, thank you. That's a great question. Now, what's going to happen with Superhero Residential is, depending upon where the property is,
yeah.
and we're going to start out with houses less than 10 years old
Okay.
and more than 700,000.
Okay.
So we're gonna initially limit it to a generally easier segment
Okay.
of the market to sell.
Okay. Okay.
And what would happen is we're going to agree on the price,
Right.
and then depending upon the house, with most real estate companies, and this isn't me versus the real estate companies, but this is a different philosophy. I've sold 500 houses myself with my own company, like me personally. I've talked to a lot of people across from the kitchen table.
Oh, so you
So
know exactly
I know this
what
business.
they're looking for.
Yeah, I was one of the top 100 Remax agents in California and Hawaii when I first started
Wow.
20 years ago.
Wow, that's
and I didn't even know what I was
impressive.
doing.
So you did well.
I was the best I was the best that there was for listings. We're representing sellers. I represent
okay.
sellers, and that's what Superhero Residential is going to do. And the reason I'm doing Superhero Residential is to prove Superhero Engine works.
Wow.
Okay, so once John, I want to sell my home. I want $1 million for it, and then I'll explain how we're going to deploy the Superhero Engine.
Okay.
Now, the Superhero Engine. Well, what is a super?
What is going to be in it?
They are methodologies
Yeah.
and systems that I've designed
Yeah.
that are dynamic,
Yeah.
that change based upon the news, what restaurants people go to, where the house is,
Yeah. And where
the
schools
social
are.
networks of people that own the house, and there's so many different. See, this is inside out marketing. So here's what real estate people do.
So will it be an MLS?
No.
It won't. It
No
will
MLS.
be-
You don't
it-
have to pay for any. None of the MLS is involved. None of that's
None
involved in
will
this.
be involved. So
You don't have to sit down for 4 hours. You have all the statutory forms required by California law.
okay.
So you have all the disclosures, all the inspections, all the stuff, and that's all going to be supervised by the Superhero Residential Brokerage, which is already set up. So we are already licensed and brokered and ready to sell houses right now. I mean, the website's
But
ready to go.
will the listing be voluntary from the owner?
Oh yeah, it's like if you want to sell your home,
You just go on Superhero and you place your listing with the picture.
No.
No? What
No,
is it? How's
it's
it going to
completely.
work?
So what it would do is the first thing would happen is if you're selling your house,
Okay.
you call me up and I say, how much are you asking for your home?
You said minimum 700, so let's say 750.
Okay, and I would research your home.
You make sure it's worth that.
I'd research it. I'd research a lot of things, a lot of secret things that I research.
Okay. Like where the school is and all that.
A lot of these will all be documented in case somebody wants to see the superhero engine and the
Okay.
methodologies that I'm using. But they're a secret. There's
Okay.
things that I've studied and I've published through my Instagram over the years. Astounding numbers of hits that I get on pictures.
Oh, okay, okay.
I can take a picture and get within seconds hundreds of people in a certain location
To look at it.
to look at it.
Because
And
they're looking for certain things.
yes, and I know how to do this. And I already have Instagram
But
pages that are
to do that one by one, is it going to be
It's a-
time consuming? No.
It's
It's okay?
Here we go. I'm ready to prove that this is going to work because I've been studying this for a long time.
Okay.
And it's different, and it's really, it's kind of it's a methodology, and an AI. They have a thing called a black box. Mm-hmm. It's a black box.
Okay.
Don't worry about what's happening in the superhero engine.
Okay.
It's real. I'll write stuff down, but to explain what I'm going to do, it's going to be different every time.
Okay.
So it might be Twitter. I have some things called Twitter switching, Instagram switching. There's just things that nobody knows about, that aren't out, that I've invented, that
gonna
people
be
don't know about.
It's going to be tied to social media.
Yeah, and all kinds of interesting things. And also, we're going to throw in there potentially 360-degree video, Google Cardboard virtual tours. We're just going to do something completely different. And if it doesn't work, we don't charge you anything. And you can cancel it at any time.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we don't charge you anything. What's the regular charge?
I think agents charge 6%.
Oh, the commission.
Yeah.
It's a commission. It's not an upfront
Yeah,
fee.
so it's a commission, and then all we ask is for a 30-day notice to pull things out of the market if you change your mind. You
Okay.
can also potentially work with another agent in conjunction with us too.
All
But right now
You
we're
can-
starting out
You can
with
both be involved in the sale
potentially, but I want to demonstrate how this works first.
to see
And
that
people
they
can
can
see the
work.
results, and people wonder, how did you do that? And I'll say, well, it went through the superhero engine process, and I can document exactly what was done on each property. And it's just from observing trends and numbers and watching this as a hobby and an interest, I know that this will work. And
Would you buy yourself a home without stepping in it, and without?
oh no,
looking-
now here's what's going to happen.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You got to look at the neighborhood.
Another
no?
great question. Okay, so now what happens is you already got your house on the market. You're the seller. I'm thinking about the seller.
All right.
This is who I'm doing this for, as the seller.
Oh, okay.
I've watched the seller's misery
Okay.
for years.
Okay.
I've watched them interview all bad agents. I used to focus, what my specialty used to be is houses that other agents messed up on.
Okay.
Yeah, so when the market got normal and bad,
Yeah.
I focused on what happened and what went wrong, and I said,
and
okay,
fix it.
and I fixed it for them.
You did the better.
That's how I made
staging,
like so
something
like
that?
malpractice, doctor fix messed up patients. That's what I focused on.
Okay.
So-
Okay. So what did you do? Change the staging?
Just advise them as to
advise
what was
them, okay.
important, why that house didn't sell. And sometimes it's not the staging, it's not the pricing. It might be something like the one bedroom is always locked. But nobody knew that because they never followed up for feedback. So when you, the seller, conveniently get your house on the market, you're done. So when we have an offer, we'll reach out to you online again. So this is geared towards people in Silicon Valley that are tech savvy. Now, when we go to the house part of it, depending upon if it's vacant, depending upon how busy you are as a seller, we're going to get people into the house.
You're gonna bring traffic to it.
Of course, yeah. We're going to sell the house for you. That's the only way we're going to sell it. But we're going to install a special secure lockbox
Okay.
where people are going to be able to access that with or without you there. And it will be more secure than the other lockboxes because you and I will know who's going there, what code, the codes are protected. Each code is unique, and it's all done through Bluetooth. It's all new technology where there's a wireless, doesn't even have to be activated. Somehow it matches the key inside of your phone matches with the key inside of the box
Oh.
without wireless. So I'll be able to track activity and I'll know who's going. There's not going to be anybody going through the house that we don't know who it is.
Ah, okay.
Okay, that's what I would want.
So the house that people are going to visit,
They can visit anytime that they want with an appointment.
Okay.
They can have.
But the owners don't
No,
necessarily.
the owner doesn't have to be there. The
Okay.
owner's isn't going to be there.
It's not going to be there.
Now,
Okay.
if somebody is really wants tight security, I can install security cameras. They can watch what's happening in their house. Whatever the seller, this is for sellers that want privacy, that want convenience, that want to make sure that they're not exposed all over the place for no reason. You have to have that kind of desire to do that. And they want something convenient, and they know when a house sells with 20 offers overnight, and all that was done was an open house, and they
Did you-
pay 6%.
You did it?
Everybody's doing that right now, and in particular right now in
Yeah.
the Bay Area,
Yeah.
in California, on the West Coast, all the way from Washington to Nevada is really the best market I've ever seen in history.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but what's the name of it?
Superhero?
X or residential has been tested on how many homes?
None. It's all. I just started the company March 1st.
So has not been tested.
No, I have to.
You think it will
I
work?
think it'll work. Yeah.
You're optimistic.
Oh, I know it'll work. And if it doesn't work, there's no charge. And once it starts to work, people are going to go crazy over it because it's going to work.
Oh, okay. Thank God there's the word residential, because
Yeah.
if you just told me Superhero X, I'd say, what is that?
Yeah. So what the engine we're going to do? This is the only thing I'm going to do with This is the only business I'm going to do. This is
Yeah.
just once this is set up,
Yeah.
and I get the product put together, then I know someone has to come up with another way to sell houses using technology.
All right.
And this is going to be our attempt at it. Someone's going to be successful at it. Maybe it'll be us. But there will be an alternative to the MLS, and this is the type of thing I think it's going to be, and I'll prove it.
So it's for sale by owner.
No.
It could be an agent.
It's
posting
actually
it.
the way that it's listed. It's an exclusive agency,
Yeah,
which
it's-
means that only I can sell it.
Ah.
However, you can sell it yourself. So there is all the contracts are the normal contracts, and we'll get into that with the client. But it's just like a regular listing,
Yeah.
but you're not on the MLS. There's no new legal agreements that I'm creating for this. It's all boilerplate agreements that already exist in
Oh,
California real
so
estate.
you are the
practice.
real estate agency.
I'm the broker. Yes.
You are the broker.
Yeah. Right now I am. When the
Okay, so Superhero is the broker?
Superhero Residential is the broker. Is
It's
a brokerage. Is a real
It's a
estate
firm.
brokerage.
So you would let other agent come in or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you
Actually,
would?
I'm looking for an agent right now to be a co-founder and a technologist to get this started. Yeah, I have to recruit other agents.
Okay.
And-
Okay, because
and-
I was working on getting my license.
Oh, good. Now here's one of the things for other agents. This is another reason that I like Superhero Residential, is because I know that a lot of real estate agents, especially I don't want to. The millennial real estate agents, I don't want them to go through the old school of real estate stuff.
All right.
That ain't going to do them any good.
All right.
They don't want to do that. They don't want to. You don't want to have some 25-year-old. Why are women holding open houses? That's another thing. I'll get to that in maybe later on. But when you get your real estate license,
Okay.
you know nothing generally, and what you can do is you can go work for Keller Williams and become a realtor, which is a terrific program.
Right.
What I want to do is something completely different. No, in order to go to work for Keller Williams, you got to join the MLS,
Okay.
which is really expensive, and every year you have to pay to renew the MLS dues, which are about $1,000 a year,
Oh, okay.
which MLS should be free,
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned. But
Okay.
that's a different story. There's a whole industry of MLS boards all over the country that are really fancy. And I remember, agents were losing their houses and the real estate board offices were getting remodeled. And I was like, what the heck's going on here? But anyways, okay, so you have the MLS dues, your real estate dues, your California Association of Realtor dues, your NRR. There's so much expenses just
Yeah.
to go into it. Then you got to take a class. You can be a computer science PhD from Stanford, but in order to go into the MLS and put a house on the market where you fill all the forms in, you got to go take a class. and you have to pay for the class. Now that's fine for the right certain people. Certain people, it's
They
just
do
a waste
it.
of time.
They do it. I mean, obviously they do it since the.
They have to, otherwise you can't go in. You can't work.
Oh.
It's like getting a
So
driver's
there's a lot
license.
of expenses.
You got to get a real estate license. You have to get a real estate broker to sponsor you. You have to pay for the MLS. You have to pay for the real estate board. You have to take all these classes.
What do they have to do with you?
That's a great thing. And I'm not offering an alternative
To all that.
to all that. There's an alternative when you work with us in terms of being an
Selling.
agent. Being an agent.
Okay.
If you're new and you want to go into a tech company, a startup company that's going to scale out all over the place, you don't have to pay any. You don't have to join the board.
Right.
You don't have to join the MLS. You don't have to become a realtor. You don't have to buy a bunch of lock boxes that are going to be obsolete in 6 months, and you have to wait 3 or 4 days in line. I've changed so many lock boxes over. I used to carry they make you carry all your lock boxes in, and then change them out for new ones. It's the only way to do it.
Okay.
So Superhero Residential is going to be able to take the house and then market it using the Superhero engine, and then get these transactions closed. And as we demonstrate that, we'll be able to show products sold, show products for sale. People will see products from Superhero Residential, and they'll expect to look for, well, let's see what the store has. Mm-hmm. Let's see what the local residential store has. So these are going to be localized campaigns.
All right.
So it's not going to be, hi, everybody in the whole world. I got a listing in downtown San Francisco. Okay, I'm going to shake the whole world, run the whole world through a net, and then here comes the buyer. That's the MLS. Costs a lot of money to do that.
Oh.
You don't have to do that anymore.
That's
all I'm saying.
You will do that for them?
I'll do that with all. Now the shaking works. When you take the world and shake it and turn it upside down, it works. But how about if we just go, what's everybody doing here? Oh, the buyer's probably over here. Let's do some over here. Oh, there you go. Got a buyer. Oh. That's how we're going to do it. And we're going to add services and add things as we go along.
Okay.
Now,
Is the platform ready?
Yeah, it's ready. I mean, right now, if somebody contacts me, I'll put your house on the market like today. I can probably put it on the
so
market
the machine
from
is
here.
in place. The
Superhero engine is work. I have a demo of the work. It's all I built it myself. It's all put together. It's a hybrid web application, which is kind of a new thing. So what that does is it doesn't matter whether you're Apple or iPhone, Google or Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's and you don't have to download an application to use it either.
Okay.
So it has 4 screens or 4 columns that you'll be using as a user. It'll be very simple to use, and as the seller, you'll have access to the Superhero engine.
Okay.
So you'll be able to log in and see what we're doing on your mobile phone, and also as this scales out, all of the features of the Superhero engine will be available on your phone.
Great. So the user who will upload the pictures of his home?
No,
No.
That's just an observation. There's a lot of when you have a realtor working for you.
Yeah.
A lot of times, what's going on? So I'm used to working in bad markets. So, and in a normal market, the realtor doesn't put the house on the market and it sells. Just from a couple of.
He has to do some work.
There's like, well, gosh, what happened? What happened with this house? There's a lot of work involved.
Of course, yeah.
So a lot of people, even I guess today when the house sells overnight, they want to know what's going on. So you'll have access to the actual tool
that would tell you what
that
worked.
I'm using.
That will tell you what worked.
That'll show you literally exactly live, dynamically what I'm doing. You'll be able to watch me do what I'm doing.
Okay.
You'll be able to, depending upon here's another thing, depending upon who you are,
Yeah.
you may be able to contribute.
Okay.
Oh, let's say, for example, you have 26,000 Twitter followers.
All right. I have, I think, 21,000.
Why would you pay somebody to market your house when you have 26,000? So what I do is I incorporate all the organic things that we can tie to any technology, whether it's VR, AI, anything, food, and we build it in there to find out where the buyer actually likely is quickly and dynamically, and you'll be able to watch this happen. And then when we get other agents, 20 more agents, 100 more agents all over the United States, it's ready to grow. It can grow because it's got the underlying Firebase there. So when we grow, will still have the information available at the fingertips of the users. This is to be easy for people to use. So when you're out in the field, you're able to launch sophisticated social media campaigns, tagging campaigns, or see that these campaigns are being done, or see that I just did one, and so you can match your own contribution to it, or your agent's contribution to know. Everyone in the entire team will always know what everyone's doing.
That's good. So you'll be the broker and you'll split the commission with the agents.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, but right now the main thing is to get the product to demonstrate that it works to sell.
Do you have at least one demo in there?
We do.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So I can go to Superherox and
there's
see
a demo
it.
right on the.
There is
yeah.
a demo there.
Mhm.
Oh, so that's good.
The other thing is, what else did I want to mention is the superhero agent team that we're putting together is going to go feed into another company that I want to mention as well.
Yeah.
But with Superhero, what I'd like to do is what we're seeking is $500,000 for 5% of the company,
Okay.
and we don't need all that money at once, but we do need operation money to keep things going and expand, and we probably won't need the rest of it.
Okay.
I just want to have that on reserve.
If you expand big.
Yeah, but because the profit margin in this service, since I've already spent all the money because I did this myself,
Yeah.
and it's already built. I mean, if somebody has any kind of brains, I think this is such a great idea.
So you say you built it yourself. Are you a tech person too?
No, I just got involved in some way to build it and designed it, and
you fixed it and you did it.
I just created it from scratch. So what it does is and it's dynamic. So what it is it's 4 concepts that I've found, that I've narrowed down my social media, my mini influencer world, and my world where I've handled and managed 50 agents at once all over the western part of the United States by myself, only because the company didn't have any money to pay for anyone else. So I've devised all these systems. Well, it turned out that's I guess it's a really big deal.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
No, so you're going to, since you would have a license in California, you would have to concentrate on California first.
Yeah, we're going to do the Bay Area first.
Yeah.
And then with the Superhero engine.
Yeah.
Did you have a
No, my question is, when you have something online, it has to be good for all 50 states, but then you can go state by state.
Yeah. Right now, this isn't going to work in some states because they're just too backwards. They're just not. I don't mean that negatively. They really are old-fashioned, you know. And this has to be something where somebody understands somebody will look at this product. They'll understand what the Superhero engine concept does.
Okay.
And they'll say, okay, I know what this guy's doing, and they'll say, I'm going to go along with this. And once we show how this works, people are going to go along with it because it's going to start making sense.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the amount of agents and the amount of data that's filtered through these big companies, and when you think for a second, Coldwell Banker doesn't have a skyscraper, but Trulia does, there's a reason. And that's because Trulia is using some technology, which is harvesting data and selling it back to real estate agents. What I want to do is tap into virtual reality, virtual tours, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all the existing social networks that I have, that my influencer network has, that my network of people like you have, and tap into that instantly based upon location, based upon events where people are at, and squeeze out that buyer organically using inside-out marketing. And keep in mind that as I do this, I'm gathering leads up. Everybody that we contact, everybody that contacts us is stored in our CRM system. With kind of an intelligent storage system where we track where they come from. So we're gathering up the snowball of force. And then as we grow and our products get more and more easy to understand and use, this is going to be a very popular product. Just a different option.
Yeah, less work for the agent to get up at 7 p.m. to go show home, for example, and leave their family. Or
for the agents
ruin their weekend showing homes. Meanwhile, their kids are home waiting.
Yeah, the existing realtors aren't going to like this concept. The new people, the millennials that are tech that don't understand why a beautiful 25-year-old woman would sit at an open house, put up a bunch of signs all over the place in an expensive outfit, wind blowing the signs down all over the place, and sit there all day long waiting for someone to buy the house. I still do that. I don't understand why people do that.
Well, they have done it for
I know they've
hundreds
done it
of
for
years.
so many years.
Yeah,
That's
for
why I
so
think
many years.
technology hasn't caught up. I don't want anybody sitting in my house with a bunch of signs all over the streets.
Yeah,
Do you?
yeah.
I don't. I don't think anyone else does either.
No, no. I mean, I think the
Yeah.
concept is awesome.
It
I
has to
mean,
be done.
It has to be done. We are
Must. It's a must.
Some-
Okay, so
so yeah, it's a good product, and I'm sure I'll get a better idea when I see your demo. To wrap it up, this will be applied to other industry, you said, right? To other things.
yes. Now, what I'd like to try it on is Superhero 420,
Yeah.
which is for all the marijuana dispensary delivery people that are out legally delivering stuff.
Okay.
Nobody really knows what business people know what a CRM is, but if you ask somebody what a CRM is, but they have a little superhero engine working for 420, the 420 industry, they don't have anything for themselves. That would be one option. And then also with the food industry, restaurants would benefit from a superhero engine because a lot of my tagging in the engine involves Instagram and locations. And I've experimented tagging restaurants and untagging them and keeping track of the result. It makes a big difference.
Except food, you have to taste it, and marijuana, I guess you have to go there and get it.
No, well, in California with the legalization of marijuana, they have deliveries.
They do
Yeah,
now. They deliver it.
yeah.
Without looking at the certificate.
Oh, it's a big industry coming up here. So this whole concept of marketing with technology is going to be used for the cannabis industry, the food industry. It's just a tool that people can go, oh wow, I can do all this stuff really easily.
Yeah. Wow, I can't imagine someone delivering to your house cannabis.
Well,
But I guess it's a new idea.
That's not my idea. It's already happening.
It's already happening.
Yeah, but so once we get these superhero residential agents just distributed,
yes.
okay, and in place, the next company that I've been working on for 3 years. Are we almost out of time?
No,
No, okay.
it's okay.
Is HomeKeyX.
Yeah.
And
what do they do?
What HomeKeyX is it's a virtual construction company.
Okay.
And that's really what Superhero Engine and Superhero Residential is going to lead to. Is what we're going to do is we're going to take three concepts. You got Uber, and all these cars that are going to all be automated now,
Right.
and also the Uberization of kind of like I want it now, similar with Superhero Engine. And then you have Tinder, because the HomeKeyX agent is going to be placed and own their residential grid, their area.
Okay.
So when we start taking over neighborhoods with HomeKeyX, the agents are going to be permanent. And we're going to design virtual houses
Okay.
as part of the gift for people selling their house with HomeKeyX.
Oh.
And this will store everything about the house forever permanently.
Okay.
And we want to we want everyone to have one of these, just like Google Maps. So and we want to go back and look back and record history of prior
Buyers.
buyers, for example. Like when Martin Scorsese saw that film was going to disappear, there's nobody keeping track of any of these houses or buildings in the world that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So when you walk down San Francisco and you look, that's it. That's the only view anyone will ever get of it. Now, what about the history of properties?
Oh, that's very important.
Yeah, so what HomeKeyX is going to do is something similar to what preservation of property, preservation of data. All of these, when you put your house on the market, for example, when you use Superhero Residential, I can go on, you can tell me your name and your address. I can probably put a marketing plan together based upon the junk that's scattered around the internet from a house that's already been marketed in the past.
Oh, good.
So what I'm going to do is that's not going to be the case when we get to the HomeKeyX.
Yeah.
Is everything's going to be contained for you inside the house. And you will have a virtual constructed house that you will actually be able to go in and modify and then
To be the perfect place to sell.
then go to resell it as well. So that's a really advanced concept that we're working
Oh,
on.
that's good. That's good. Like virtual construction.
Right.
That's a good idea too. I mean, it's probably going to require a lot of.
Yeah, that's going to
moving.
require somebody that really sees what I see, and it's
Yeah, I can see what you're doing. You want to kind of reconstruct online with visuals until you get the perfect house, kind of thing. You want to
Kinda.
reconstruct the house or add something
Here's what
to
I want to
it.
do. When you say go Google something,
Yeah.
you'll be able to say, what's the address? And you'll say home key exit.
All right.
So when you look up on home key X, if it's in there, you'll have the ability to go inside the house.
Okay. And see what it looks like.
Yeah, from our company. And we want to build that for every house and every building in the world, starting with one house at a time. And I want it to be attached and into Google Maps.
Yeah, that's what Google did, one business at a time.
Yeah. So when you go to search, you'll go to Google Maps, and right now, if you look at Google Maps, what I want to do is I want to go inside the building.
Right, right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when you see our Home Key X house on Google Maps, you're going to be able to go inside the house.
Like
That's
they
what
do
we're
for
gonna-
businesses now. They send the camera person inside the business to take the picture inside the business. You will
It'll be
do
like
it
that.
for the home.
But we're going to have a. I'm researching. Right now, it's too expensive to build a house, a virtual house.
Right.
It's about $5 a square foot.
Wow.
So for me to build a 2,000 square foot virtual house, it cost me $10,000.
Ah,
That's for people in Silicon Valley right now. They can do that. That's too
Oh.
expensive.
okay.
So what I want to do when that cost comes down, and I'm
Yeah.
researching that,
Yeah.
you know, at all these Google events,
You'll be able to do something.
you'll be
fast.
able to go. And when you, let's say for example, we live in the same neighborhood or across the United States.
Yeah.
You just put up something on your wall.
Mm-hmm.
I will be able to, if you give me your permission, go onto my virtual goggles.
Yeah.
And they have them now where they're glasses now. This is amazing. You can look up and around. It's just astounding.
Wow.
You're going to be able to go in, if I let you, look inside my house, my virtual house, and
But
see
you got to make sure you're not there.
This is all. People are going to get used to this now. Like, here, look at my phone. Look at my Instagram. That's how it's going
that's
to be.
true, that's
It's
true.
going to be here. Look what I just did. And you'll go, oh my God, you made that. You'll be inside the person's house.
Ah, okay. Okay. Okay.
And we need this because people like to go, oh God, did I turn that off? Or okay, here's another example. You bought a painting
Okay.
and you want me to look at it.
Oh, I can show it to you.
Yeah, but you bought it somewhere. I want it.
Oh.
I can buy it through Amazon.com through my Home
Through your
PX.
thing. Yeah. Okay.
So
got it.
Amazon.com will be inside Home PX.
Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome too.
Yeah, so you'll be able to when you go shopping.
Yeah. That's
go
a
in your-
good- that's
you
a
go in your
different
closet.
Concept. That's a different concept.
It's an expanded concept of the Home Key X. See, the Home Key X is going to be like a permanent part of your life.
Yeah, yeah. Like
It's
you
a
don't
new
have
concept.
To, you don't have to post somewhere else. It would be posted through in your house.
Here's how this is really like my flowery version of it.
Okay.
It's Uber
Yeah,
plus Tinder
yeah,
plus Trulia,
yeah.
which is the real estate information.
Ah,
Pile those all up, and here's kind of what people kind of giggle a bit,
okay.
and throw it. And we're really Home Key X into Disneyland.
Ah,
So what I want to do is I want to create, starting with the home, the virtual home. We design a house that we've researched, and we have a house that we can put up and go, wow, this is nice. And what you're going to be able to do is go in your own virtual house
all right.
and shop through there, buy stuff through there, and then when you go and think about what you're going to purchase, you'll see it in the context of your home.
Nice, nice. You can just show it there and say, oh, would that work? That would work.
Right,
Would
and
that-
then also when you go to sell it,
Yeah.
you'll have all the records of the house that
Yeah.
are prior history, or when you purchase a home, you'll be able to look and see what it looked like when the seller had wood paneling on the wall.
Ah, I
Because
see.
everything is going to be, every change
It will be shown.
will be recorded in the technology of this house. You'll be able to go back.
Ah,
So when we apply that technology to like a building
Mm-hmm.
in San Francisco, and it's kept track of for 200 years,
wow.
and you go into a museum, and 200 years from now, you look at this technology to track what the building looked like in 2050, and
It will be
2070.
archived.
Doesn't that sound neat?
Yeah.
What are we going to do now? What does a building look like 100 years ago? We have a lousy picture? This has to be done. Just like the movies. We're not going to have these buildings going to be gone.
What can we do about my 31-year-old show? We would put all the videos in one big
You just
data
get
storage?
you need to just get a little new website, like a cleaner website, and just.
No, but I mean, you got to stream all the
Oh, we got the videos, or the video, all video data, and that stuff's going to be stored. That's all stored. They got that
Stored.
covered.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
well,
the houses, the buildings,
huge,
you know, like,
huge
I mean,
storage space.
you can't. There's no documentation. I mean, think about it. We don't know what the Golden Gate Bridge looked like 50 years ago,
Oh, okay.
except for a picture.
Oh, wow.
With all this technology,
And yeah, and you're into film, so you'll be able to
this
bring.
is what I want to do,
Yeah.
and I just want to use some of this technology to sell real estate and also build something permanent so people can have that house around them. I like to go in and visually see where I'm at, and
And when you become super wealthy with that, you'll go back to making movies.
definitely going to make and, inside Home Key X.
Yeah.
And just to give you what I want people to go. I want people to go inside their neighborhood, their virtual neighborhood.
Okay.
If everybody goes along with this, just like Instagram and Facebook, this is going to work. There has to be a virtual world for a
Right.
real virtual, not a crazy game
Yeah.
or a Second Life where people. I watched something the other night where people really get into the game, they lose their
Reality
mind.
shows.
This is going to be a tool to utilize for anything related to your house and your family and your home.
It's reality show.
It really can be. It really can be. So you're going to be able to go into your neighborhood, and I already have in pre-production a movie because I want to have content inside Home Key X world
Okay.
that's specific and unique to that world.
Wow.
So all of the Home Key X users,
We'll have a view of the neighborhood, what's
neighborhood-
going on,
and the first thing is going to be a cinema.
Yeah.
And I already have on IMDb the movie.
and you can see it.
The movie's going to be called Fuzzy Gets a House, and I want it to have like a famous actor in it. So I mean, this is all, and it's there you go. It's
Wow, I just watched a movie this week of someone selling tickets to visit the inside of a home that was built 100 years before. But I'll tell
What?
you about
Really?
it. It's a movie, yeah. It's a movie where people would pay, like if you visit the museum.
So they're
you
paying
would-
to see a house 100 years ago?
Yeah. It's all virtual.
What a coincidence.
It's all virtual. I can, yeah.
Like, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go see what my house looked like when I was 10.
Wow. That, you
Okay.
would pay to do that, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, as long as you have Home Key X installed
Yeah.
when your children are 10
Yeah.
and up, you'll be able to look at your house forever, and everyone will have it. You'll be able to go to your great-grandparents' house. This is...
And pay to see what it was like.
No, it's free. It's
Oh,
gonna
it will be free?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be like Google Maps.
Oh,
Everything's
okay.
going to be... As long as the person gives permission to have... So you can have public photos in your house
Oh,
if you
wow.
want. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. So the revenue would come from fees, I guess.
Well, the revenue from Superhero Residential comes from commissions.
Fees, yeah.
And also agent advertising potentially later. And then when Home Key X, since the grids are going to be protected from competition in a way,
Yeah.
there'll be income from the commissions of the sales.
Yeah.
There'll be income from advertisements
Yeah.
within the houses.
Yeah.
Any products placed within the Home Key X system.
That's awesome.
And also other agents that want to get into Home Key X. This is where the Tinder comes in.
Yeah.
They're going to have to be part of a gaming selection process where if somebody doesn't like one of our Home Key X agents, then they'll have an option and they'll be in one of our to use one of our potential recruits.
Wow.
And agents will have to pay to be a part of this.
All right.
You know, so we're going to sell advertising just like Trulia did.
Wow. Anyway, you showed us the future in 45 minutes,
Really?
but I'm sure the future can be reality soon, right?
It has to be. Somebody's going to do it.
Somebody,
I mean, at
and it's
least
going to
it-
be you, right?
I'm doing it. I mean, it's the
so
company's
yeah,
open.
let's tell everybody your name, John Meredith. Meredith, isn't that the famous name, Meredith? I don't know.
Don Meredith, yeah, that was my dad's name, but there was a football player.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my
so-
dad, but the
name.
The name, yeah, apparently.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see all this coming to reality.
Me too. I mean, I just working on it constantly. I got a stack of to-do notes, and it's fun.
Lovely.
It's really fun because everything, all of my interests are coming together. I've got business, which is the real estate part.
Yeah.
You got art, which you can create virtual tours.
Mm-hmm. And
And
then?
then science,
And
which is
science.
technology. I mean, gosh, this is so fun. And so somebody with those similar interests that wants to sell their house is going to go, God, this is a great idea, and do it that way, and they'll understand what we're doing, and it makes a lot of sense.
All right. It was so much
Great to
fun
meet you, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was so much fun to interview you. You're great. you're a great guest. So
Thank you.
thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And I look forward to look at your website again. And so thank you so much.
Thanks.